Hello, everybody. Hello, fellow ranters. Welcome to part 3 or episode 3 of Let's Make. Now, I don't actually quite have something to share this time around, so I figure we may as well just jump right into the modeling. I did intend on having the chess set printed ahead of time, but due to some complications with my own printer, that won't be happening for at least a little bit. Printer maintenance is a hassle, and if you do intend on getting into the hobby, it is something you're going to have to be prepared for. A lot of, especially if it's an open-end printer, or I guess open source as I refer to them as. Something like the Ender line, like the Ender 3 Pro, which is the printer I own. It's wonderful. It works great when it wants to work. The problem is you have to level it manually. Sometimes you shake it a little bit, it throws everything off, and you have to spend another few hours manually leveling. Sometimes the extruder gets gummed up, though, in all fairness, that's a problem that happens with kind of any printer. It just happens. Now, if you don't notice it's gummed up and you leave it overnight, that can lead to some nightmarish complications known to most in the hobby / profession as the dreaded blob, where you get this massive, disgusting mass of melted and eventually solidified filament stuck inside of your extruder. Now, if it doesn't spread too far, chances are you can salvage it. Just got to be careful. I've only had to deal with one clogging up my entire extruder once, though I've had to deal with smaller ones in the past as well. It's always a little bit annoying, but it's easier to just clean it out than have to just replace the extruder in its entirety, and frankly, it's cheaper. And more often than not, it can be saved even when it looks like all hope is lost. I had that experience before. I panicked, but I saved it, and my printer's working. I'd say it's working just fine, but once again, troubleshooting needs to be done. It's most likely a matter of I need to re-level it as well as make sure both sides of I'm not quite sure on the word. Or the middle part that moves your extruder along the x-axis. That might be a bit out of whack, but once I get that up and going again, or maybe I may be considering upgrading to a different printer too, I should have I should have the chess set ready, printed, and ready to show on the channel. But until then, let's hop in to our next print. Now, I was thinking today, why don't we make a little scene? The idea that came to me specifically was maybe a little frog and some mushrooms and whatnot. Just a little base. It seemed nice, it seemed pleasant, and it seemed like a nice step up from a simple chess set. So, let's get into it. If we're going to start with... I suggest we start with the frog itself, actually. Now, we could go with something rounded, or we could go with something all jagged. I think we're going to stick with some custom shapes for a bit of, again, jagged, low polyness. I think it's an appealing look for a model. How about we bring this down to... Actually, no. I think this could be good, but maybe let's modify this to maybe 6. Oops. Right. Wrong way. Just want it to be a little bit rough around the edges. And that looks very nice, doesn't it? Now, let's just get into this, why don't we? Again, I tend to just freehand most of, if not all of these models. It would probably help if I had a reference image of a frog off to the side. If you're going to try and make something, I would suggest you work from a reference just like if you were drawing. But I tend to do everything from memory, and besides, if it looks a little bit silly, that's fine. We're not going for the most accurate frog. We're going for just a nice, cute little decoration to have on your desk. If you have a metal filament or something, who knows? You can even make it into a paperweight. Okay. How about we get some custom cones in here? Yep. Hello, old friend, once more. And let's split this and keep the bottom so it's nice and stubby. These will make some little frog legs for our little frog. Honestly, at this rate, maybe it won't even be a frog. Maybe it'll just be some weird alien creature. But regardless of what it is, it should come out well enough. Won't it? Okay, now let's move this aside a little bit. Maybe adjust the angle too. I will make sure to cut off the bottom of this so it's even. And yes, the longer I look at this, the more I realize I don't actually know what a frog looks like. Well, let's double down with the weird alien creature thing. We can salvage this one way or another. So, let's do it that way. Always remember your mirror tool. It's invaluable sometimes. So you don't have to worry about getting a weird, precise angle exactly right. You can simply just mirror and center it like that. Let's bring these legs to the back now. Thrall needs to be able to sit on its haunches, doesn't it? There, isn't that better now? It's certainly starting to look like an odd football, isn't it? Well, again, let's keep working with this odd football shape. That's not quite a football, but is almost a football. It's like not quite trying hard enough to be a football, but it wants to be one. Right, I forget how much the smooth tool sucks. Though, doesn't look quite the worst. But we're not working with that today. We want to keep this a little bit jagged. Perhaps another custom sphere is in order. Once again, a latitude of 6. We will make something of this odd, anomalous alien creature, this strange dog. We will make something of it yet. Actually, maybe we are making something of it. Maybe let's shrink this down a little bit and center it once more. Okay. We're going somewhere. Now we're cooking. Okay, I think I have an idea. Let's shrink this down. And stretch it a considerable bit. And let's head over to split once more. But we're not going to cut it in half that way. Rather, we're going to cut it in half this way at 90 degrees. Let's thicken it a bit and bring it over. And with this, we've got ourselves what looks like a rabbit ear. Maybe let's scale it up a bit. Scale it up and turn it to the side. And don't forget your one and only trusty mirror tool. As we bring this over, make sure we center it. And that looks now like a strange rabbit. Frogs, rabbits, really what's the difference? If you squint your eyes enough, they look more or less the same. They function on more or less the same rules. They're small and they're strange and they hop around everywhere. They're basically the same animal, right? At least I'm pretty sure that's how that works, right? I mean, yeah, one's covered in mucus and is green or brown or orange or kind of every color of the rainbow now I think about it. And the other is beige, white, black, brown, gray. Pretty samey colors. And is covered in fluff and everything. Still the same thing. This certainly is a strange rabbit, frog, dog thing. The longer I look at it, the more it looks like a really weird Eevee from Pokemon. I mean, Eevee also can't make up its mind of what it's supposed to be. Is it a cat? Is it a dog? Is it a fox? Is it a rabbit? Who knows what it is? I believe I do have a print of an Eevee somewhere on my desk, actually. Yes, I do. But, honestly, looking at this from a distance, I can't tell what it is. So, let's just not particularly care what ours is supposed to be either, right? If the weird cat, dog, rabbit, fox thing can be whatever it wants to be, then our weird frog, rabbit, dog thing can be whatever it wants to be. Feels like it's missing something, though. That is not quite the right button I meant to hit. No, let's hit custom again and go back to our old friend of custom cone. Hello, old friend. Long time no see. It's not like I just used you a few minutes ago. But let's once again bring down this. I am aware we're working with tens, but actually, maybe we'll stick with tens. I just have an idea I'd like to try and work with. we are making some weird, unearthly creature, so let's double down on that, shall we? Hmm. I guess we're making another unicorn again. When in doubt, if you don't know what to do for a design, just make a unicorn, I guess. Feels like it's still missing something. Maybe. I think I know exactly what it's missing. Let's go grab our good old friend. Not custom cone, actually, but custom cylinder. And we're going to need to drop that latitude down quite a bit, actually. So we have a pentagonal prism. I think that would be the right term, right? But what we're going to need to do is scale this fellow down just a little bit more. Maybe sink it in a little bit further. That's a little bit too much, actually. But let's Control C, Control V, mirror, our best friend, the best tool, besides for cut, and bring it over this way. Let's center them, and let's, after combining these in one, subtract. So we have some very deep, very skewed eye holes. This certainly is quite the silly creature. I still do feel like it's missing something. Maybe it's the pose, actually. I do believe it's the pose, actually. Alright, let's try moving these limbs in a bit further. Remember to Control C, Control V, and mirror always. Center. And there we go. And maybe these just need to move in a bit further. Center them again. And let's rotate it. Maybe try and make it look like it's doing a weird dog sit. Alright, let's try selecting all of it. And let's use settle for the first time. Well, maybe not the first time, but... Oh, it would appear that these legs are just a smidgen off. I wonder how that happened. Oh, that would explain it, actually. Alright. Remember, if you're selecting multiple objects, group them together before or you start rotating, or else it may skew things in the wrong direction and come out less than ideal. And maybe move these in a little bit further, actually. Just make it look a little cleaner. And that looks better. And now, once again, select all and settle. Well, it looks better. That's what matters. But let's maybe manually do this. Bring it down. And there we go. We have our weird... I'm still not sure what to call you. You are... I suppose you are cute. But I'm not sure what to call this weird rabbit dog unicorn anomaly. But I do know what we do need to do. A tip, just in general, no matter what software you're using. Always cut off a little bit of the bottom to make sure it's smooth and level and sits properly. For example, like this. So when we hit settle, bam, it sits perfectly. Well, perhaps not perfectly, as it would seem the angle was slightly off enough. So, trial and error. Let's see if we can get that angle just right. Subtract once more. And settle. Seems close enough. That small of a difference shouldn't make much. I mean, that small of a little gap shouldn't make much of a difference if it's just sitting on your desk. It won't be rocking around all that much, likely. But let's try settling once more. Still not too bad. I still do feel like it's missing something, but I can't quite place it. You know what? I know exactly what it is. It's missing a friend. But I suppose we can get to the friendening in our next video. But for right now, let's simply save this thing as... It's a weird rabbit unicorn dog alien thing. Let's call it... let's keep it simple so I don't spend an hour here. Just, I don't know, Rabbicorn. It's strange, it's weird, it's derpy, and I can't help but love it. And so next time, we'll give it a friend so it's not quite so lonely, staring off into the void with its very spaced apart, silly looking eyes. But for now, this has been episode 3 of Let's Make. As always, have a good morning, evening, night, no matter what your time zone may be. And peace.